Are you looking to move to Monmouth County, New Jersey, but you're not sure if the timing's right just yet? Well, good news for you. On today's video, we're doing a market update on Monmouth County. We're going to cover a couple different topics like the current interest rates, the amount of homes sold recently, and a few others. If this is your first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon, and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. On the Live in Central New Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you want to be the first one to know what's going on in either Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. Point number one is going to be the location, just for anyone that might be unaware of where Monmouth County is, if you're moving from out of state, anything along those lines. So Monmouth County is going to be located pretty much smack dab in the middle of New Jersey, but it's also going to be on the eastern border because that's where you have the Jersey Shore. So from Sandy Hook all the way down to Manasquan in Monmouth County will be the Jersey shoreline in Monmouth, but it does extend much farther south than that across the entire coastline. We have 53 municipalities, but they're not all built to the exact same size by any means. You'll notice on the more western border, you're going to have homes with like a lot more land, maybe sitting on an acre, acre and a half an acre, that kind of stuff. On the eastern side with the Jersey Shore, like I just mentioned, these towns are gonna be much smaller, a little bit more compressed, and you'll see houses on top of each other because that is the big tourism part in New Jersey. During the summertime, we have so millions and millions upon visitors from Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day weekend. It's a big part of the Jersey's economy. Next thing I wanna cover is going to be the recent market activity going on. So anything from January 1st up until now. As of me making this video, we have 1,091 active listings in Monmouth County, and that's going to equal out to just like single family condos and townhomes. That's not counting duplexes or 2 units or more. That's not counting lots or land, industrial, anything along that, commercial, none of that. Just strictly residential. We have 1,185 units that are pending. So pending contracts or pending homes are going to be ones that have accepted an offer already and moved through the attorney review process. So the seller and buyer have agreed to work with each other and they're going to be followed through with the transaction. So we have more pending than we currently do active, which is not necessarily a good sign. That basically tells you that we are very low in inventory. And then for closed units, we have 1,172. So that's pretty close. The pending and closed are very close together. So obviously we have a lot more buyers out there than we do inventory. And being with that, you'll notice that recently, beyond even with the interest rates going up, prices have been increasing constantly too. Even in the downtime with the winter, like usually where it pauses a little bit, even rolling into the spring, prices have not stopped going up. So what do all these numbers mean necessarily for you, the consumer? First thing I want to go over to is called the absorption rate. The absorption rate gives you an idea of what kind of market we're in. So if you have 6 months or less for an absorption rate, you have a seller's market. If you have 6 on the dot, it's a neutral market. And if you have more than 6 months, it's considered a buyer's market. The reason this is important is because depending on what kind of market it is, that's who's going to have more power during negotiations. So right now, Monmouth County has 2 months worth of supply. That means that's obviously less than 6, so we're in a seller's market. But the lower that is to 0, the heavier of a market it is towards the seller. They have a lot more power than the buyer does in terms of negotiations, all that. It also typically means prices are going to start to go up because we don't have a bunch of inventory on the market, like I've already kind of mentioned a little bit. Next thing I want to cover is going to be the days on market for Monmouth County. So days on market basically just means that this is how long homes are lasting from the initial point when they're first listed to when they accept the contract and they're out of attorney review. Monmouth County has one is 41 days on average apparently right now. I find that a little hard to believe because when I'm taking buyers out or I've had recent listings, they've all gone pretty much within the first weekend. So I think there might be a few homes that are just propping this up necessarily, or the attorney review period is maybe just taking a little longer than normal and the homes are lasting a little bit longer on the market technically. So I find this one a little hard to believe, especially if anything is priced right now correctly or just competitively in general. It looks pretty decent on the inside. More likely than not, it's selling within the first weekend, a couple open houses, something along those lines. So how much does a home cost in Monmouth County? I'm glad you asked. So there's 2 different ways to look at this. You have the average price or the median sales price. I prefer to look at the median, but I'll kind of give you an idea or a reason why too. So if you have, let's say 10 homes are sold in Monmouth County, right? And you average them out. If the top 3 homes are all in the $2.5 million range, but then the majority of the rest of them are all between about like 400 and 600,000, it's gonna bump that average number up pretty high. And I don't think that's a realistic representation of what they should be. So the median is a little different. The median is going to just take the middle 2 sales and average those together. So again, in my scenario right there, it would average those middle 2 and it kind of give you a better representation. So for Monmouth County, the average sales price is going to be $821,000 right now, but the median is about $633,000. I think the median right there is a lot different and much more of a good representation of what we're currently seeing in Monmouth County. One of the last major talking points I want to cover is everyone's favorite, or maybe right now possibly least favorite, and that's going to be mortgage rates. So as I'm making this video, the average 30-year fixed is sitting at a 6.91%. So not above 7, which is a good sign, but also not the lowest we've seen anytime recently as well. So with mortgage rates, kind of if you're ever wondering where they come from, they follow something called the 10-year treasury. The Federal Reserve doesn't necessarily impact this directly. It's more indirect, actually, based on their monetary policies. And then based on those, the 10-year will go up or down, and the mortgage rates would typically follow. So if you want to know what's going on with mortgage rates, follow the 10-year. So typically, home prices and mortgage rates have something called an inverse relationship. Simply put, it's when one goes up, the other one goes down. So for instance, let's say mortgage rates go up, home prices usually come down because affordability is affected. And to keep it in the same areas where it should be, home prices have to drop if mortgage rates go up. Because when mortgage rates go up, you're going to be paying higher percent of interest. And if the home prices continue to go up, then all the affordability is going to go out the window, which unfortunately is what we're seeing right now. So right now, the market's not usually reacting the way we typically see. The reason being, at least in my opinion, is going to be the lack of inventory, like I've already mentioned a few times today. So with the lack of inventory, not as many homes on the market, buyer demand is still there. That doesn't necessarily just go anywhere. People still have a reason to move typically, right? You don't want to rent anymore, your family's upsizing, you might be downsizing, or whatever the case is. So with more buyers than we do have homes, prices are going to go up. That's a simple supply and demand issue. But even on top of that, when mortgage rates are also increasing, buyer demand is still the same, home prices are just going to kind of skyrocket. It's almost like a worst case scenario type of situation that we're currently seeing. Now, one of the big questions I get all the time as a real estate agent is this a bad time to buy? Now, is it? That's up to you to decide. I really can't decide that for you. What I usually tell people is, can you afford it? Are you comfortable making this amount of mortgage payment for the house that you want and that you need? That's pretty much the only answer that I can give people. If the answer is yes, you can do that, then go ahead and purchase, because odds are rates are going to come down, so that affordability is going to get a little bit easier for you. Once you purchase, you can refinance, and home prices more than likely are going to continue going up for all the reasons I just gave you. We don't have enough of homes on the market. It's really, really hard to see prices decline anytime soon. If you want kind of a personal example, my wife and I, we purchased 2 years ago. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say we have a 7% interest rate or anything like that. We did get into low 3s, so I'm not saying that by any means. But what I am saying is we had to bid $25,000 over asking price to get this, to get our townhome. A lot of people thought we were crazy for doing so, but we kind of realized that it's going to appreciate. Rates aren't going to stay at this rate forever, so let's just get it now while we can. Over the course of 2 years, we've paid down a loan a little bit, but we've also appreciated close to like $60,000. So maybe closer to 70, more than likely, conservatively 60. But we have $90,000 worth of equity in our home. So on our next one, we want to upsize to something we really want, maybe that 30-year forever home, whatever the case is. We don't even have to come up with a down payment. We can just take it out of this home. That's what I'm trying to explain to my buyers and with the situation. So if you can afford the payment now, buy maybe something, just buy for your needs, right? Like get like the top 3 needs that you have. Ours were a fenced-in backyard for our dogs, 3 beds, and a basement for some extra storage. We got that. We kind of sacrificed on a single family and a bigger yard for a smaller yard, but still fenced in. Find out what your biggest needs are, ride this appreciation wave out, and then when you want to upgrade later on, hopefully the market's in a better situation too. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. I really hope you appreciate it. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the video. If there's anything you want to see on these market updates in the future, just so I can adjust it and make it better for you, the consumer. If you're looking to move or sell in the Monmouth County area, feel free to reach out. All my comments or all my contact information is in the comment section down below. Whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, it doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. And if you want to stick around real quick, I got 2 more videos popping up for you, and hopefully they can help you out a bit too. Have a great day.